Hmm. All right. So we are we're live right now. We're live. Let me make sure that I can see what's going on here. Turn down the volume. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of late. I don't really expect you guys to come. All right. I don't. I have very low expectations. And there's my chat. Hi, I'm being called Thick Boy by comics and comic enthusiast. Another troll. Another alt-right troll in my chat. How dare you? Hi. Welcome everyone. Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys here. I'm glad. I needed some company tonight. Yeah. This should be good. I know you guys are excited about this because you see, hold on a second. Let me see if I can make this better. I might make it worse. Who knows? Did I make it worse? I might have made it worse. Okay. This is difficult. It is. It's hard to line all this up and get ready to tell you guys some bedtime stories. It's 10:05 Eastern Standard Time, and I just want to check and make sure you guys are doing okay. Do you need anything from me? Yeah. Do you need a drink of water? Do you need anything to eat? Uncle Ethan. All right, good. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. We're going to talk about what's going on at, I guess, Marvel. I don't know. I kind of look at the news. I'm like you guys. I look at what's going on in comics news, and I feel like I need to talk to you about it. Ew, there's an ad for an Acura here. Who would drive an Acura? Gross. Get rid of that. Uh, Ta-Nehisi Coates, pictured. I guess he was just announced as the new writer of Captain America, which is interesting. I do like some of the moves that Marvel Comics is making. As a fan of some of these Marvel characters, um, and yeah, I really I was enjoying what Mark Waid was doing. I liked it. I mean, there were all these like Captain America was going after the real issue in America right now, the white supremacists. He was kicking their asses. He was yeah, he was very impressive. I really appreciated Mark Waid's original take on Captain America and politics. And I like this whole King America thing, whatever he was doing, where Captain America was going to wake up in the future and be king. These were all good ideas. They were all good ideas. And then suddenly, this man, let me see, can we see his face? He's a good looking guy. Ta-Nehisi Coates compares Captain America to Barack Obama. Oh, good, I'm interested in that. Barack Obama was probably the greatest president of the last 100 years. And comparing Captain America to Barack Obama is apt. Let's find out why. Hey, newly minted Captain America writer Ta-Nehisi Coates was at the SX. Get it? SX. I would like if I were doing the logo for this convention. You know what I would do, right? I'd sneak an A right in there. I would. It would be the Sex Southwest Con. And I wouldn't tell anyone for like a year. And they go, oh my God, EVS snuck sex into another logo. Mm-hmm. And it would be a big controversy. Boner Man asks me, when are you going to draw Wonder Woman fighting Funny Valentine? Two people that love their fellow man and will do anything for their people county. One more extreme than the other. Boner Man, if I had a nickel for every time someone asked me that question in the exact same way that you just asked me. Let's see. Chief Nerd says, Zach almost made the show day by backflipping into 8-foot Drew. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. Was I dosed? None of you guys are making sense tonight. I feel like somebody dosed my non-carbonated Monster Rehab energy drink. I hope that's not the case. I just watched a whole news report about how anti-feminist men's rights activists were pissing into the water bottles of feminists. And yeah, and I don't want that kind of thing to happen to me. We have Ace Wolf 75, the biggest troll in the chat. Second, well, okay, comics enthusiast is the second biggest troll, but definitely Ace Wolf 75 is the biggest troll in the that comes to these chats at night. I don't know why. Impulver, again, I'm telling you, it's a weird night. Ask me, where do you apply to be a feminist? Your heart and your brain. Those two places. Yeah. I didn't do 9/11. That's a lie. Not at all. A lot of people were hurt by that. So, all right. It was a tragedy. It was an American tragedy. Let's not make light of it. I'm not reading that. Fox XP just made me almost spit out my Monster Rehab lemonade non-carbonated drink. All right, so let's get back to Ta-Nehisi Coates. You guys shush. Learn something. Newly minted Captain America writer Ta-Nehisi Coates was at the South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas this weekend when he compared the iconic Marvel comic book character Captain America to former President Barack Obama. You know who else was at the South by Southwest Festival? Zach, Diversity Comics was there. I don't know who let him in, but he was able to go there and meet Frank Miller, and it blew his mind. He was very happy to meet Frank Miller. I don't know if he met Ta-Nehisi Coates or not. I'm not sure. I would think that he would go out of his way to meet Ta-Nehisi Coates, especially since Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to be writing Captain America. Captain America is one of his favorite characters. I've heard him say that many times. Captain America is now one of my favorite characters. When I was a kid, Ta-Nehisi Coates was my least favorite Marvel character. Carlos Mello says, hi from Brazil. You are a fantastic artist. Carlos, you're hello from New Jersey. You are a fantastic judge of art. I appreciate that. Mac Reddy says that Jimmy Kimmel is crying on TV. Comics Enthusiast says, Ethan, what's your opinion on the Metal Men? I have no opinion. None. New Jersey represent. All right, so Coates was recently announced. By the way, I want you guys to notice that I do actually read your messages aloud. I don't just let them go. I will take a break from the news to acknowledge the fans in the chat, and not everyone does that. I just want you guys to take note. Benjamin Hopwood, what a great name, says, Ethan, love this channel and your art, inspiring me to draw comic characters again. Hopefully soon I will start drawing pages. Benjamin, sooner than later, because I need some more submissions for my brutally honest portfolio reviews. I'm going to do one in a few minutes. All right, so everyone, all right, here we go. Let's get back to Ta-Nehisi Coates. Tuck yourselves in. Coates was recently announced as the writer of Captain America alongside artist Leinil Yu. It's just Leinil Yu now. He used to go by Leinil Francis Yu, and then he went by Leinil F. Yu, which I thought was hilarious, and he doesn't do that anymore. Marvel's official description of the book follows. So, by the way, one of the best artists at Marvel. When they say Marvel doesn't have a good artist, they neglect to bring up Leinil Yu, who is so good. I mean, he's a really good guy, a really good artist. All right, so here's what Coates had to say. For over 70 years, he has stood in stalwart defense of our country and its people. But in the aftermath of Hydra's takeover of the nation, Captain America is a figure of controversy, carrying a tarnished shield. And a new enemy is rising. Who are the power elite? And how do they intend to co-opt and corrupt the symbol that is Captain America? I don't know. All right, so here's Captain America's speech from Spider-Man number 537. I'll skip that. Coates was already a controversial figure to write Captain America, given his political worldview, which Rich Lowry in Politico, I don't trust Rich Lowry, I don't trust his face, described as reducing people to categories and actors in a pantomime of racial plunder. He must erase distinctions, and I'm telling you guys, somebody dosed me. Nothing is making sense. You like the things that you guys are saying. I'm gonna read this again, and you tell me if this makes any sense. I'm gonna try to read it again. Whew, my God, my Eric Brand, thank you for the super chat. Super chats all go to Ava's diaper fund. She goes through a lot of diapers, and I really do appreciate your support. Eric Brand says, Diversity in Comics should offer up his old portfolio for a review. The man can handle a good roast. Yeah, well, these are voluntary things. Somebody said, hey, why don't you roast Rob Liefeld? Well, first of all, Rob Liefeld, I'm not really interested in roasting, or not roasting, but reviewing portfolios of fabulously successful artists from the 1990s. That's seems pointless to me. But somebody like Diversity in Comics, he's welcome to submit his portfolio to me. I would go through it just the way I'd go through anyone's portfolio. And I would do that, but it's got to be something that he wants to happen. I'm not going to force it on him, nor would I go ahead and review his portfolio behind his back. That just wouldn't be right. Bonerman, again, remember when Captain America fought Alex Jones in the Info Warriors? No. All right. Oh, seriously, guys, you're making my head hurt. I don't remember. I don't know what anyone's talking about, and I don't know what anyone is saying. Coates, let's do this again. Coates was already a controversial figure to write Captain America, given his political worldview, which Rich Lowry in Politico described as reducing, and then quote, people to categories and actors with an A. What is this word? Nearing, is there a word Actores? Actores.
I've never heard of it.
All right, so this is probably a misspelling. Actors in a pantomime of racial plunder. He must erase distinctions and reject complexity. Erase. He must erase. There needs to be an E there. So that's where, okay, so there's the extra E, which goes there. Yeah. People have said that I'm a Nazi. Spelling Nazi. Ja. Das ist gut. All right. Coates has even been quoted saying, quote, white America is a syndicate arrayed to protect its exclusive power. This is real exclusive power to dominate and control our bodies. He would even denigrate 9/11 firefighters and police trying to save victims for the horrific terrorist attack. Quote, they were not human to me. Black, white, or whatever. They were menaces of nature. They were the fire, the comet, the storm, which could, with no justification, shatter my body. I see. Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Bonerman says, serious question, this time I mean it. Do you ever draw on the train? And if so, how do you draw from life without getting caught? Bonerman, you presume that I take a train anywhere. I don't take a train anywhere. And if I did, I wouldn't draw because that's work. I'd probably just kind of talk to you guys. You know, I'd probably do a live chat. How do I draw from life without getting caught? Now, that is a good question. I used to draw when I was in church, and I would draw whoever was up. I would make fun of the speakers. I would do caricatures. and I always got caught because you're in church and everyone's bored, so people would look over my shoulders, and they would laugh and giggle, and I would have to put my drawing away because my dad would grab me by the ear, and he'd say, "Stop it right now. You're in God's house." And I'd say, "Oh, sorry." So it doesn't really work. Okay. All right. So, and now Coates seems to confirm he will be bringing his radical political beliefs to Captain America. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Coates told a packed house at South by Southwest, "He's like Barack Obama." I want to clarify that. I don't mean that as praise or criticism. He's somebody who believes in the ideal of America, really, really believes in it. Let's click on that link. Yeah, and sure enough, Ta-Nehisi Coates, what is this nonsense? Ta-Nehisi Coates likens Captain America to Obama. Yeah. I like this article too. He's someone who believes in the ideal of America, Coates said of the Marvel character. Ta-Nehisi Coates was interested in taking on Marvel's Captain America in a new comic book series because of the character's idealism. He's like Barack Obama, Coates told a packed house during a Saturday afternoon keynote at the South by Southwest Festival in Austin. I'm so glad I'm not there. I'm so glad I'm at home and I'm not there. I'm safe and warm in my home, and I'm not anywhere where people are telling me about Barack Obama in Texas. Quote, I want to clarify that. I don't mean that as praise or criticism. He's somebody who believes in the ideal of America, really, really believes in it. So he's a lot like me, too. Captain America is a lot like Ethan Van Sciver. He's someone who believes in the ideal of America. He really, really believes in it, just like Ethan Van Sciver. Wait, what is the question? Does Ethan notice Gene there? No, I don't know what you mean. Ethan Van Sciver featuring Migos and Lil Pump. Okay, I like Migos. I went to see them. I was in the second row at their show. They're good. Nick M Productions. Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Did you see there is a video that compares Barack Obama with Black Panther? S is insanely cool. That's good. I haven't seen that video, no. Jesus Avalos says, EVS, I can never tell when you're being sarcastic. Jesus, I'm never sarcastic. Let's see. Most of this is filth, what you guys are saying. Razmaz asked a good question. What lantern ring would Shmoo get? I think he would, I think he'd get the violet lantern ring. I think he'd be a star sapphire. Okay. Let's get more information about what Mr. Coates had to say here. The author announced the new comic endeavor on February 28th via a column in The Atlantic, where he is a national correspondent. In the essay, he wrote that, quote, what is exciting here is not some didactic act of putting my words in Captain America's head, but attempting to put Captain America's words in my head. Where's a picture of Captain America? I want to see if he has words on his head. He does have words on his head. It's the word A. That's the word in Captain America's head. Coates, who has been a vocal critic of American politics, especially under President Trump's administration, explained further during South by Southwest why he wanted to tackle American idealism. Quote, when you're writing comic books, you can't live in your place. You can't live in your world. He added, 2 laughs. I wrote Black Panther, and I don't want to be king of Wakanda. Wakanda bullshit is that? Oh, you're asleep. All right, my friend's asleep. Well, listen, I told you these were bedtime stories. Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. Oh, I like Jeffrey Goldberg. I totally like Jeffrey Goldberg. He, yeah, he's a good guy. I'll tell you that right now. And moderator of the discussion asked Coates if since the release of the Black Panther movie, He has been approached by people who say Wakanda forever. Coates responded that a flight attendant recently did that to him. It was great. I loved it. He said anyone can do that anytime. Well, I'm doing it right now. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Coates began writing the Black Panther comics in Marvel for 2016. In 2016, he has also penned a spin-off, Black Panther and the Crew, that ran for 6 years. He spoke highly... All right, we're off topic here. Let's go back. All right. Yeah, we got some pages here, but these are not Lineal Francis Yu pages. I'll tell you that right now. Lineal Francis Yu uses some really good shadow work, and his work is a lot more gritty. It's really exciting stuff. Coates previously suggested he would try to keep his own political worldview opinions out of this Captain America story. Yeah, and that's when he talks about the word on Captain America's head, which is the word A, the article A. Yeah. He's going to put that word in his head. Interestingly enough, Ta-Nehisi Coates would also suggest he couldn't write a great Captain America story. Quote, I'm not convinced I can tell a great Captain America story, which is precisely why I want so bad to try. Cool. Well, yeah. I feel like I want to encourage him in this. I hope he can do a good job. I believe in you, Ta-Nehisi Coates. We might disagree about politics, but one thing that we do agree about is that America is a great place, and the American ideal is something that we should all strive for as we understand what America is. And sometimes we disagree, and these are the things that bring us into conversations with each other that sometimes go awry. One thing that I think we should all agree on together is that Captain America needs wings on his head here, and they're not there. Did you notice that before? Where are the wings on Nazi Captain America's head? What is that? Razmaz asked if I have huge hands or is that a tiny tablet? The answer is I have huge hands. This is actually an iPad Pro supersized. So my hands are gigantic, and everything that goes along with that, as the president might say. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a brutally honest portfolio review. Okay. I'm going to turn this way. Can we make that work? We might not be able to make that work. Oops. Cancel. We want to keep this on. Let me see. Yes, I'm never sarcastic. All right. I'll tell you. I did it again. Oh, there's me and my wife. Oh, great. Now I have to hide this. Press home to unlock. So you guys can't find out what my iPad code is. That would just leave me unsafe. All right. So we're going to do a brutally honest... Again! Why does that keep happening? This cannot go on. What am I doing wrong? I'm really super annoyed now. This is like something that would happen in a diversity in comics live stream. This is not what would happen to me ordinarily. Okay, here we go. Yeah. We got beautiful artwork today from this gentleman here. Hold on, let me flip this over. Okay. Yeah, comic enthusiast. The biggest troll. Yeah, just thank you for the super chat. What think about Justin Trudeau? He need die. I have nothing to say about Justin Trudeau, but thank you for the $2 Canadian. That's probably about 10 cents. Here we go. This is going to be really, really good. I can tell already. We've got some action-packed pages here. Oh, did you see my Homer slippers? I don't mind showing you my legs. I don't like apologize for it at all. Again, there's some there's some differences between me and diversity in comics. All right, let's have a look. Let's get serious now. Could we please? Yeah, thank you. I never skip leg day. That's right. All right. So these are actually really great pages. I'm not thrilled about the colors. I want to see this stuff in black and white. I do think this would be much better in black and white. It's just distracting. This layer of brown behind everything, just kind of, even though what seemed, well, to be honest with you, I can't tell what's happening here. Hold on a second. Sometimes you look at comic book art and you go, yeah, this looks good, except you don't know what's happening, and that means it's not very good. Yeah. All right, so let's have a look. We've got some kind of alien thing here, and then we've got something here. Is this part of the alien? And then we've got a dude in a spacesuit here, and a dude in a jacket there, and something's exploding or falling apart. And then we've got the dude here pointing. I think these are two different panels because this is the same guy. And then something happens here, and then down here, and he jumps through and he lands over here. All right, so as you can tell, this is completely, yeah, it's difficult to be sure of what is going on here and to whom. Difficult. Let's turn the page and, ooh. All right, I'm none the wiser after turning that page. I can tell that this is a hand, and I can tell that this is a hand. I can tell that that is a hand, and after that, I don't know. I have no idea. What do you guys think? I don't know what this is. All right, so we've got some problems here, and the problem is that it's clear that even though this gentleman can draw, I'm not sure what he's drawing, and I mean that's a serious problem. I don't know what to say. I think you need to make things a little bit clearer and ground what you're doing in some kind of reality so that we can get some kind of perspective on this. I mean, this is critic proof. It's absolutely critic proof because oh, here we go. This gets a little bit better. We've got a robot man, and we've got another man here, and he says cough cough, so we know that might be a Zach in there. Wretch splutter. You're not fooling anyone, Zabatsky, huh? Chak. Welcome to Paradigm. And then he says a bad word, but it's mostly a bad word in England. You know, that's not how we say that here. Cool designs, but again, I don't know if they're floating around in the sky. There's no ground. There's nothing going on here. They're just people that are just, yeah. All right, so now we're back to black and white, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the black and white. Paradigm Lockyards breach -3, 2. This is good. I like this submarine here a lot, and I like that it's breaking through this stuff. This, I can tell what's going on. It's people piloting the craft. So I am kind of grateful for that. Let's turn the... Oh, it's me again. That might be it. All right. Well, let me see what I can criticize. I will say that this looks really good. This reminds me of, yeah, it's kind of French. It's very European. This is fine, except the face is drawn very peculiarly. The eyes are weird. And, yeah, guys, I know it's quick. I just don't see, I don't understand. This is one of those portfolios that I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I'm really not sure. Yeah, it does. It looks like Mobius a little bit. It's like I want to help in some way, but I can't help because, yeah, I don't know. It would start over? No, I don't know. Here's what I can say about this portfolio, just in a very general sense. Um, it's unclear. The storytelling is unclear. I'm aware that somebody has really neat ideas for designs. I mean, this is a very neat idea for design. The way it is inked and the way it is colored, and even the way he's telling the story makes it extremely, it's almost indecipherable. You can't tell what's going on. I hate that it says boom boom right here. There's all this dead space up here where these sound effects could have gone. These two sound effects actually make this even more indecipherable. I can't, it covers something up here, and I feel like I need to see this. I'm really disturbed by it. I don't. Lately, I've been getting triggered by these portfolios. My wife, who you caught a glimpse of there, I'll show you her. All right. So she said, Ethan, be nice, be a teacher. They want, you're supposed to be helping these people. And, be kind, be patient. And I'm like, okay, I will. I'll take a deep breath. Whew, all right, I'll try. And then, like, lately I've been getting triggered by these portfolios. I have to calm down and I have to, but I see this and I go, this story is happening entirely in your head, and it's your job to make it happen in our heads too. And so I tell you guys this all the time. I would rather see a page that is not so well drawn but tells the story than a page that is beautifully drawn but tells us nothing. And this is one of those things where it's just like, this is very, very interesting. I really, really like this design, but I don't know what it's doing. I have no idea what it is, and I have no idea where this is happening. And those things are all critical. It is your job to let me know, what this is, and I guess it's some kind of alien. I don't know if this is a person here. This looks like an arm and maybe a leg. That looks maybe like the chin there. I don't know if that's a person that's fighting this green monster or not, or if that's actually part of the monster. It's all indecipherable. Inks would help a little bit, and better colors would help. Those things are for sure. All right. Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder, somebody just said, I wonder if I could see more. D. Saunders says too much caffeine. No, I don't feel caffeinated at all. I feel very, very mellow, but I'm frustrated because it's like I have a job here and I don't, all I can say is, normally what I would do is I would take like a panel and I'd say, okay, so this is, yeah, but let me redraw it a little bit and we'll show you where you could improve your drawing. Here, I'm not sure that I want to do that because I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know what this is. And there's a ripping noise, which makes it even more upsetting. Like, I thought maybe like he was shooting energy out of his hands, but is he ripping a hole in the fabric of reality? And he might be, because look, then he jumps through something somewhere else. And damn it, I really like this, but it needs to be inked better, and the colors are just killing it. They're just killing it. And then back here we have this guy fighting this thing again. The inks are so fine. They're so tiny, and the pencils are barely there. So this thing just becomes a blob of green. I don't know. All right, so I think it's safe to say, yeah, he's ripping a hole in space-time, says Chief Nerd, like a Doctor Strange movie. People are saying, let's go back to mellow things. Yeah, I would like to, but I feel like here's the thing, it is my job. It's definitely my job to review portfolios. I do have to do it. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, look, we need to we need to go back to the drawing board, I think, and we need to spend more time on the inks, fewer time on the colors. Just leave the colors alone. I think probably the same guy did all of this. So let's not color, because color is getting in the way of what you're doing. And let us just keep it in black and white for now. This page is pretty damn good. I'm happy with this page. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Scott Ruggles says, Ethan, I've worked in comics, and when I worked, I would point newbies towards cinematography books for clarity. Yeah. Well, that's not a bad idea, honestly. Hold on, let me put this back. I have company over, and I think he just fell asleep on the couch. I'm going to send him up to his to the guest room. Hey, you're asleep. Go upstairs. You're snoring.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good night, all.
Good night. Good night. You guys are all welcome to sleep over too if you'd like to. Casa Van Sciver is no drinking. There's been no drinking going on here. Yeah, I do like this page a lot more. A lot more. It's just nice to see. First of all, I do think that he did a lot of drawing, and he put some time into the background here. So that's cool. Wait, let's see. Yeah, okay. Ethan, I want to buy one of your trades. Can you recommend one? Thank you for wanting to buy one of my trades. I would say buy Flash Rebirth or Green Lantern Rebirth from 2005. Or if you want to buy something that's current, I really would recommend Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps Volume 4, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. Mac Reddy says, is it possible? And then he retracted it. But basically, he was asking, is it possible that pretty decent art was ruined by bad coloring? It wouldn't be the first time. And I mean, just because you have the the program to color doesn't mean that you can. I really would never color my own work unless it was with markers for a commission. I wouldn't do it. There are people who are really good at coloring, and good colors can often save a drawing and really just save a story. I'm working with a guy named Jason Wright on Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps right now, and he's such a phenomenal colorist. He finds a new palette and carries it through, and he knows what to emphasize and what to push back. And yeah, it's a nice thing. You should really just let the colorist do it. So much of comic art is collaboration, guys. It really is like when it's at its best, it's like a jazz combo, and you've got just very like people with different talents and specialties all getting together and and doing great work. That's what it should be. Of course, there are people who insist on doing everything together and are by themselves, and that is kind of a bad thing. Ace Wolf 75, who was a troll, said, "Can I scan all your trade paperback Green Lanterns and give it away for free online?" I'm glad you asked, because a lot of people think that they can do that, and the answer is no. That's illegal and immoral, and it runs counter to everything in comics. Yeah, so I wouldn't do that if I were you. Muhammad Al-Shabani, who we all know is Momo, who had his portfolio reviewed by me recently, glowingly reviewed, is here in the chat. And he says there's a book by John Alton called Painting with Light. Could really help with lighting and inking. So John Alton's Painting with Light. Momo is somebody who knows. I mean, he is truly a gifted artist. He lives in Dubai, and I think he lives in Dubai. Yeah, I would take his recommendation. Yeah, so everybody's shouting out Momo. It's a lighting book for films, he says. Uh, in polar, what's that V there for? I don't get that V. He says DC needs to print absolute Ethan Van Sciver. I would just settle for a bottle of absolute for Ethan Van Sciver. Or make that Grey Goose. Aceful75 says lots of YouTube channels have comics for free. I do agree. I know that they do, and I don't think it's such a great thing. I just think it's bad for comics. I think people should really go ahead and you can preview comics, but you want to whet people's appetite. You don't want to give away content for free, um, and it's just not nice. Cecil is here. He has a channel called Diversity, Inclusion, Compassion, Kindness in Comics. These are four virtues that I certainly espouse. I'm big on Dick in comics, and his name is Cecil. So go subscribe to his channel. He says, "Why am I an unrecognized genius when all I've ever aspired to be is a recognized moron?" Yeah, that's a. I wouldn't dwell too hard on that, Cecil. I really wouldn't. I think that you could be both, and I don't know. You're a special guy around here. We really love you. A lot of people are saying that they do recognize you as a moron. Um, yeah, so that's good. Fox XP says Laura Martin is a master colorist. Oh, she sure is. She's fantastic. She's really, really good. I've never been colored by her. Somebody got a commission from me of Emma Frost colored by Laura Martin, and that's the only time I've ever seen Laura Martin color my work, and I was thrilled. All right, so if any of you are German here or inclined towards German things, I do have a copy of, hold on a second, Batman, Catwoman, Trail of a Gun, it's called Waffenwahn, okay? Batman, Cat, so this is all in German. I don't know if you're interested in that or not, but, you know, the entire book looks pretty good, right? Nett. Ich has noch drauf. Cool. Ein RC Pontiac GTO von 1964. Du weißt deinen Dreck über Autos, du Depp. Das ist ein SS Camaro von 1967. Gib mal her. Yeah. So if you want, this is available in German. Mac Reddy says, EVS, remember when Wizard Magazine did casting articles and they picked Matthew McConaughey for Flash? You think he could do it? No. Do you? I guess he could. He could do anything. He's a really good, he is a really good actor. He's handsome. He's just a little bit old and a little bit kind of rugged. Yeah, I mean nowadays people are saying too old, but we're at a point now where we are considering Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan, old man Hal Jordan. I don't know. Do you know what I would really like to see? To be honest with you, can you imagine Michael Keaton as old man Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond? Can you imagine how incredibly badass that would be? Michael Keaton in the Batcave, old man Bat like Bruce Wayne, and then like yeah, we meet some new young kid who's gonna be Batman Beyond. And I don't know why they won't make that. I don't know why they won't make that. Every time I ask them, they're like, no, and shut up. And I'm like, hey. I'm just kidding, they don't say that. But yeah, I think it would be really, really cool. You get a nice big old dog. Oh, Stiff Kitten says, oh no, Lux Max Nike says that's a terrible idea. Eric Brand, thank you for the super chat. You're the only one who ever super chats me. Nobody wants to give me any money. So I do appreciate you, at least, as a real fan. How would you go about making an animated intro for the channel? I'm glad that you asked. My plan is, if I can get my, okay, so I have a Patreon, and if I can get my Patreon to a certain level, and I'm almost halfway there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and hand animate, by hand, an opening sequence featuring the laughing face that is the that is the logo of this channel. I'm going to animate that face and make strange things happen around it. And I have it all planned out. Uh, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be absolutely incredible. But it will take a couple of days. Now, I know how to animate on my iPad by hand. I did the animated Cyberfrog dance, which was very, very easy, but still took, it took 5 hours to just to get the Cyberfrog dance down. I've never, I've never really done real animation before. I was offered a job at Disney in the 2D animation department back in 2003, when I was fired from Marvel Comics. A lot of that going around. And I went to Disney. I was living in Florida at the time. Took an interview at Disney to work in their 2D department, and they did offer me a job in 2D animation. I watched them. I think they were making Lilo and Stitch at the time. They gave me a tour of the office, and I eventually said no, I don't think so, because the money was garbage. And then they closed the 2D animation department. Oh, Cecil just gave me $20 for diaper money. Thank you so much, Cecil. You are wonderful. I do appreciate it. Ace Wolf 75 says, "Why were you fired?" Well, I mean, I'm glad that you asked, Ace Wolf. I have four videos right now that are available on right here on this channel, and they're called Marvel Comics Days, 1 through 4, and they will tell you the entire story of my epic journey at Marvel Comics, and they'll tell you why I was fired, if you want to know. And yeah, it was kind of for being too real. Lux, Max, Nike, Mike. Is it Nike or Mike? I need my glasses. Let me get my glasses on. Getting old, guys. He says, "What happened?" Again, these are all questions that could be answered if you just watch the videos, and I think you will find them entertaining. I decided to really kind of, I was new on my YouTube channel when I started telling my Marvel Comics story, and each episode is built around one issue of New X-Men, because I did 4 total, and then I did 2 kind of weirdo Marvel books in between those X-Men books. So as I'm telling you what was going on behind the scenes at Marvel, I'm doing kind of a commentary track on the issues of New X-Men that I did, and I remember closing my eyes and telling the story like I was Orson Welles, like doing War of the Worlds broadcast, like really being emotional about it in a way, using dead air sometimes. I don't know. They're pretty good. People really like them. So yeah. EVS's firing is a sexy story for sure, says Marvin Sims. Well, it always is. Yeah, the 118 backstory. Yeah, that was definitely, yeah, that was definitely something. Stiff Kitten said, "I had lunch with a certain new X-Men artist on Thursday." That's great. There are a lot of them. Internet user says he's a Second Amendment supporter here. That's good. Support your rights. We live in a free country. It's a good thing. Jim O'Reilly says, "Ethan, could you please give the email to send portfolios to for your review?" I will. If you would like me to be kind of dumbstruck and baffled by your portfolio, which is what's been happening lately, and I don't mean to be. God, wait, let me see. Andrea, are you there? Where are you? There you are. Honey, remind me. Yeah, I need to be kind. I need to be kind. Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, so if you want me to review your portfolio, send me 4 to 6 pages. Send them to my email address, which is Ethan, Ethan 12032 at gmail.com, or you can always kind of DM them to me on Twitter. Either of those methods work, and I would be happy to put your portfolio in a queue. I mean, I don't even look at them. You guys have to understand. I don't even look at them. Momo says, "Ethan, you're nicer than most professors." That's good. I want to be nice, But I do need to be patient. I need much more patience in doing this because I'm dealing with people's feelings. Even though I say that I'm supposed to not consider people's feelings, I do consider people's feelings. I do care about you guys, and I want you to keep drawing. Um, you know, I tend to look at work and I kind of look at it as though I did it and I'm being critical of myself, but I can be nicer. Bryce Drake says, Ethan, do you think that you could beat Richard in a fist fight? Richard, Zach? Who's Richard? You mean Zach? Um, let's see. Yeah, I'd send a portfolio, but I don't want to trigger Uncle Ethan. I'll just send it. If I get triggered, it might be entertaining. It might be a good thing. I don't know. Ultimately, we want to create good videos here. Yeah, exactly. Who the hell is Richard? Um, yeah, I mean them to be constructive. Runaway Rocket says, hello, EVS. Hello back to you, Runaway Rocket. I'm glad that you came. Or whatever. Scott Ruggles says, do you review humor comics? I do, but people are sending me a lot of cartooning, and I have rejected, I will be honest with you, I have rejected 2 portfolios that I've gotten because I looked at them and they were very, very competent cartooning, like almost like Mad Magazine. And I don't really have a lot to say about that, A, because I'm not a Mad Magazine style cartoonist, and B, because it was so good. I mean, it was just like, it was normal. It's as if you sent me stuff that was published and then said, what do you think of this? I think it's great. Good job. Stiff Kitten says, just curious, but what do you think of your brother's work? I love it. Um, I might be biased because he's my brother and I love him very much. He's 10 years younger than me. His name's Noah Van Sciver, and he is a genius. And I've told him that for many years. He was kind of um, he was kind of aimless 10 years ago, I guess. Was it 10 years ago? Maybe longer than that now. But he was kind of aimless and he wasn't sure what he was doing. And he was doing these kind of cartoon strips for his own amusement. And I just said, maybe you should just do your own comic book. I said, you really need to pour your energy, your creative energy into something. And he started doing his own comic book, and now he's winning awards. Um, yeah, I couldn't be more proud of him. He and I are different, more different than night and day in so many different ways. He's kind of a, Bob Dylan, and I'm kind of Elvis. And he, just in terms of our personality and personal styles and tastes. But he is a super nice guy, and I love him dearly. All right, what are we saying here? EVS, any thoughts on DC Black Label? Yeah, it's a good idea, I guess. I don't know. What is it? R-rated Trinity books? Uh, yeah. I mean, I'm interested in the Frank Miller stuff. Frank Miller's one of these creators who, you know, consistently gets my attention, even though most of the time lately, he's been doing very strange work. And I don't think that's harsh criticism. I think that's kind of true and agreed upon. His work has been strange lately. However, I think he's working with John Romita Jr. Isn't he? Is that what I saw? He's working with John Romita Jr. All right, that's all good. It's great. So I'm for that. Somebody says that they're going to put their money on Richard because he's a Marine. That's fair enough. Yeah, listen, Zach, I'm sorry. Zach is a trained fighter, and he's done crazy stuff in his life. I have not. I'm an artist and a storyteller, and your uncle. I'm not saying that I can't fight. I'm just saying maybe I can't fight a Marine, but I'd still try. I'd still try. I'd go for it. Sure. Ryan Long says, this is cathartic. I encountered the weirdo postmodern types in grad school. A Marxist professor was triggered by my work, but it was the opposite of this. My art made sense. He was incomprehensible. Ha. Yeah. You gotta, I think when it comes to art criticism, it does help if you actually have faith and trust in the person who you're asking their opinion of. Um, if you think that the person is a kook and don't trust their opinion, then what's the point of asking them? You're going to get something that doesn't really make sense to you. Uh, yeah, and there's a good mention of my giant man hands, which is true. Actually, it's not true. I have kind of small hands. I'm a piano player, so I don't know, I have good, I don't know, but they're small. Um, I saw Zach's hands on the live stream last night. His fingers are really strange. Like he's got like his have like an extra joint. Like he's got four joints on his like super long, creepy ass hands. Like if his hands were painted white and coming out of a robe, like out of like a cloak, you would think he was I don't know, like the Grim Reaper. He's long, spindly fingers, and his palms are too thin. Very weird. Yeah. All right, Andrew Acosta. EVS, how long, hours, is an average workday for you? And the answer to that is 14. 14 hours. EVS, what's up with interviews? No more? And this is Shinto Ketchup asking. Shinto Ketchup, you might not have noticed, but I am the subject of the most intense SJW smear campaign, I think, in modern history. Now, because I'm EVS, I take it in humor, and I think it's fun and funny and weird. However, it could be dangerous to other people at this moment to sort of be associated with me. I mean, these people are relentless and rude and cruel, and I've noticed that people do get threatened for being associated with me in this sick, weird, toxic, poisonous culture that we find ourselves in right now. So I have, for the moment, suspended doing live interviews with people who, uh, who don't really have politics or anything in the game. And that's most of the people that I know. I mean, most of the people in comics that I know that I'd be interested in interviewing are not extremists in any way. And but I don't want people to draw conclusions that they might be Republicans like me just because they're with me. Now, if I do a live interview again in the near future, it'll be because the person that I'm interviewing is a Republican and is basically like giving people the finger and saying, I don't care what people say. And that's fine. But I don't want this to be also a vehicle of promotion for just far right wing or just middle of the road Republicans like myself. I don't want that to be the case. This channel exists for one reason, and that's to present you guys, well, for entertainment, but also to present you guys with information that could be helpful if you have an interest in being a comic book artist one day, or even a writer or a creative person of any kind. I want you to encounter these professionals and get to know them and their stories, and hopefully be inspired by it. And I think it's a really sad thing that in this day and age, and I think you guys have witnessed it, no matter which side of the fence that you're on. I think it might be coming from both sides in certain cases, that things are so poisonous. It's, the word toxic keeps being used. That's true. Um, and, so let's, somebody said Richard Spencer interview, please. Yeah, great idea. That would be great. Alex Jones interview. Um, yeah, that's not, yeah. I mean, let's just take a break from the interviews for a little while until things kind of settle down. And, I think that would be a good idea for now. Do you guys understand? Or are you like, do it anyway? I mean, that is the question. Um, let's see. So, yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, but I can't. It's just not right. Like, it would be selfish of me because I could definitely get people to come on, and they would get murdered by these lunatics. So I'd rather not do it. Um, How was Pee Wee? I'm glad you asked. I spent 3 hours in line today waiting for Pee Wee Herman, and I knew he was coming to this convention, Monster Mania 39. And Monster Mania is in Cherry Hill, which is 10 minutes from my house. So Pee Wee Herman was coming 10 minutes to my house, away from my house. So I knew it. I planned on it. Andrea and Ava were going to come with me. It's my wife and daughter. But at the last minute, they decided not to go. And I have a friend from Maryland who was coming up, and I was just like, "Don't worry about a hotel. Stay in my house." And so that's who was just snoring behind me a few minutes ago. So we went to go meet Pee Wee Herman, and the line was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I waited in that line for 3 hours to get one DVD signed, and you know what? Paul Rubens actually signed the DVD, um, Pee Wee Herman. He signed it. My wife looked at it and said, "This doesn't even. It says Pee Wee Herman. It's not even a real signature." And I was like, "Well, it's just how he signs it. I don't know what to say." Super nice guy. Super nice guy. Who I filmed. You know, you had to sneak bits of video footage, but I was particularly interested in how he treated children because, as somebody who uh, creates entertainment. Some of his entertainment, a good portion of it, was aimed at kids, and I wanted to see if he was good around kids the way I am. It's like you could tell people's hearts by how much care they give to their fans that are children. And whenever I meet one, I'm a dad, and kids are super important to me. Other people's kids, are when adults bring you their kids for a signing, you really do need to kind of draw them pictures and tell them stories and be very nice to them. So he was extremely kind to this girl, and I taped a little bit of it. And he said, "I'm going to tell you a story." And this is I listened in. He goes, "Now I told this story. How old are you?" And she's like, "I'm 11." And she goes, "Okay." He goes, "I told this story to a 10-year-old boy, and he peed his pants. He was so scared." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "Don't laugh because it's a scary story and you're going to pee your pants too." And she goes, "I won't." And he goes, "Okay, I'm going to tell you the story and we'll see." So he starts telling her the story, and I couldn't hear all of it. And then suddenly he went, "Boo!" at her, and she jumped. And he said, "Did you pee your pants?" And she goes, "No." And she laughed. And he goes, "Well, the 10-year-old boy did, so I guess you're tougher than he was." And gave her a high five. And it was like, it was great. I mean, it was the perfect kind of sense of humor the perfect kind of sense of humor for, like, an 11-year-old kid. And she walked away delighted, absolutely delighted. So I just thought it was great. And I made a little video, I posted it of my time in line. When you're in line for someone for 3 hours, you tend to bond with the people who you're in line with, and it was a lot of fun. Yo, the large march scene, you're exactly right. That was scary. I want to know who did the claymation for that. It was cool. That whole movie is cool. All right, so how long have I kept you guys awake? All right, so I've kept you awake for over an hour. I usually don't do that. These are usually just an hour, and you kids need to go to bed. EVS, you need to listen to Frank Sinatra's My Way electric guitar remix. That sounds cool. Yeah. Mac Ready says, "I like the EVS article videos. It's like Sports Center for comics." Yeah, I enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing them. I will tell you this. First of all, we do get paid for making these videos. Like, they get ad revenue, and if you guys watch them and click like, we make a little bit of money. I don't know what happened, but I did a video about The Walking Dead, and it was only 9 minutes long, and it made twice as much money in ad revenue than any other video that I made that day that was longer. Like, I thought my Tom Cruise Green Lantern video was going to do really good, and it did good. It got a lot of views. But my Walking Dead video did great. So, you can't hear me? Or can you hear me? Somebody said fix your mic. I'm going to do a lot more Walking Dead videos. It seems to be that's what like YouTube wants. And I want to bash that show. I used to love that show and it sucks so bad. It's so bad lately. Yes, I do. I don't know if you get paid for clicking like, but in essence you do. If you guys hit like on any of my videos, YouTube shares them more often. They recommend them. So when you hit like on my video, other people who are watching comics videos, they'll get recommended to see my videos, which means more likes, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So please do me that favor. Even if you can't donate to Super Chat or Patreon or support the channel in that way, if you just click like on my videos, you are really, really, really helping me out, even more than money could. So, yeah. Yeah, I haven't read. I'm about 5 or 6 issues behind on the comic, but there's a new like I don't know. I've heard some stuff about what's going on with the. I don't want to say anything. I heard some stuff about what's going on, and I'm just like, God, these are going to be a chore to get through. And I've read Walking Dead religiously. It's the only comic that I really, really, really consistently look forward to. Yeah, Princess. None of that makes sense. Eve La Renaissance says Greek fries question mark. Yeah, I have this. I want to know what Greek fries are. What are they? Um, the show's in the gutter. Here's the problem. They got the show right for one season, and it was at season 5 or 6. I think it might have been season 6, where they open up with the big gigantic like mall that's been dug out. Like they're gonna build a mall there, so it's like a construction site, and there's a pit, and it's filled with zombies, and that's the reason why no zombies have been getting to their neighborhood. And they're looking at this and they're noticing that there's a tractor trailer that's blocking off the road, and it's keeping the zombies in this pit. And then the tractor trailer is going to fall into the pit. The minute the tractor trailer falls into the pit, all of the zombies from the pit are going to have a clear passageway to the road, which leads straight to Alexandria. Now, that entire season was great. Great. I mean, I watched that season and said, whoever's doing this right now has got it down. This is how it should be. Zombies should be scary. If you're walking around and these characters are not afraid of zombies, and people keep saying, well, yeah, the zombies are just, you know, it's the people who are the real threat. Yeah, I know. But I'm not, I'm more afraid of the zombies, frankly, because the zombies are a relentless force. Every time I go to sleep, I am unsafe because I'm defenseless against zombies who may kind of creep into my house and give me a bite. Um, Mac Reddy says, glad you calmed down. I wasn't amped. I don't know what you mean. Um, so if you can think of zombie situations that are original and scary, uh, and that keep the zombies scary and be original about it, that's okay. So that one season of Walking Dead was an A plus, and every other season was a C minus or below. And this new season is garbage. It is garbage, and hate it. Absolutely hate it. So I hate it more. I hated season 3 with all my heart. Um, so he's saying I'm too soft, like my voice. This is how I talk. Yeah, I don't want to yell. You know, most of these guys that I watch all these YouTubers. Um, I love YouTube now, and I love everyone's channels, and I listen to what they post. I follow everybody. I subscribe to everybody, and I get alerts, and they keep me company when I'm drawing. But a lot of their voices are really irritating. I don't know if you guys have noticed. World class bullshitters are great. Their Star Wars merchandise is a dead brand and rots. The videos that they make about the Star Wars toys not selling in toy stores, those videos make me laugh so hard. They're merciless. They're so funny. Yeah, if you watch those world class bull Sers, okay, S words, watch their videos about Star Wars. They do these Star Wars hate videos that are hilarious. They're just hilarious. Oh boy, yeah, so funny. And there's another guy named Minty Comedic. I can't remember. Just look up Minty, and He's got this great like Australian accent, and he does these videos about top 10 things that you didn't know about Goonies, and his videos are fantastic too. EVS, any opinion on Star Wars Last Jedi? Remix 36720. I didn't even see it. I won't go see it. I'm not playing their little games. Here's the thing Star Wars is over. Okay, D. Saunders says Minty Comedic Arts. Yes, subscribe to him. He doesn't have very many subs for what what he should have. He should have 1 million subs, and he's only got like 63 or 68,000. A Caustic Soldier, thank you so much for the super chat. That's diaper money, everyone. Thank you. Do you think that pandering to a mainstream audience can compromise the quality of entertainment? I sometimes think popularity kills a franchise. Um, well, I think you need to know who your audience is. I don't think pandering to a mainstream audience always compromises the quality of entertainment. I think that's the thing. I think sometimes pandering does great. I mean, I would say that a lot of what Jeff Johns does. Can you guys hear me? I'm getting an F. Oh, Star Wars. Okay, sorry. I think a lot of times what Jeff Johns did was could be considered pandering in the sense that he knew what his audience wanted to see, and he gave it to them like in a way that just brought them to tears, and that's what made Jeff Johns a really successful writer. Was that he always gave people what they wanted. You have to know your audience, though. This Star Wars stuff is garbage. It's absolute garbage. The Disney Star Wars is garbage. And they drew me back in with The Force Awakens because I was like, oh, is this going to be the continuing story of the main cast? Because all I care about is Luke, Han, and Leia, to a lesser extent, Chewbacca. The droids, I don't really care. But yeah, what they did was they used our guys as sucker bait, killed them off so that they could introduce these lame ass characters. I don't know why every female Star Wars protagonist has to look like what's her name? Who's that girl in the movie from the early 2000s who was pregnant and she was thinking about getting an abortion? What was that movie? And then what? Damn it. See, I can't stand when I can't finish a reference. Bedhead Fitness, thank you for the super chat. Fired for subversive sex weaving. Captain Kids Values. Well, hey, listen. New X-Men was never meant for kids. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with the word sex. Thank you, Ellen Page. That is correct. Armando Batista. Why do all of these Star Wars females look like Ellen Page? Why? Like, why is that the like small with a kind of kind of smug look on your face with dark hair? Why is that? Like, why do you never see a Star Wars heroine who's just a tall, gangly redhead? Why do you never see a Star Wars heroine that's an attractive, maybe mousy blonde? Why do they all look like Ellen Page? I don't understand. I'm not saying Ellen Page isn't hot. I have no opinion, actually. What I'm saying is that is the safe prototype for, or archetype for a Star Wars heroine. I don't understand it. Because I don't think it's that cool. Somebody points out that Ellen Page is a lesbian. That's correct. But yeah. I'm just saying, no, but you guys are saying white and blonde. I don't think they can do that nowadays. Well, I'm just saying that like women come in all shapes and sizes, and attractive women come in all shapes and sizes. So why do they all consistently look like Ellen Page? I don't get it. Who cares anyway? And by the way, and here's why I hate the Star Wars movies. All right, so basically, the Millennium Falcon is a hunk of junk. Thank you for the super chat, a caustic soldier. Her name was Mara Jade. Google her, retconned her. All right, whatever. I don't want to. I really don't like Star Wars anymore. I don't like it. I like the original three movies. I thought the prequels were horrific, but now they look like sheer genius in comparison to these new Disney movies. The idea, this is the thing, like people think these people at Disney think that Star Wars is about a world, and it isn't about a world. It was about a very specific group of characters within a world. You can't do Star Wars without Star Wars is just okay. Unless it's Luke, Han Solo, Leia, Lando, um, Chewbacca. Unless it's those characters, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's like it's lightning in a bottle. It's not about the world, it's not about the stormtroopers, it's about those characters that everyone cared about within the world. So, you do these extra things, these extraneous things, and people are just going to reject them because you're taking the world of Star Wars and you're inserting a bunch of Mary Sues, and they're all none of them are interesting. I mean, here we have look at this stupid new female character in The Force Awakens. I guess her name's Rey. Um, oh, this is someone who evidently can get in the Millennium Falcon and fly it no problem. No, like the Millennium Falcon, which is basically like a piece of junk at this point that only Han Solo can fly with Chewbacca because it's like a car with like a bunch of parts that are missing. Like you know how to make it work. It has no brakes, but you're using like the parking brake, and you know what I mean. It's like it's a piece of garbage, but you know how to drive that car. Um, so she can get in this Millennium Falcon and fly it all around. And by the way, she's this skilled. She's I mean, so amazing that she can use the Force and without a problem. The Force apparently isn't that big of a deal, not that difficult to master. It's just that everyone else who we ever met in Star Wars was a complete moron. Rey knows how to do it. And by the way, so she can do all these things. And what does she do? She basically collects and sells tin cans for a living to scratch out a meager living. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so that is the most. I'm sorry, guys. Those of you who are uh, anti SJW. That's the most SJW thing in the. I'm gonna curse in the world. Super people who are super skilled who can't make a living. What the hell? Do not put them on TV. Do not put them on TV or in movies. I'm tired of it. This person has all these skills, but what? They can't make a living, a decent living? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Infuriating. So I saw Force Awakens and I went, you're telling me that this dude who basically, the only way I've ever seen this guy before, I'm talking about the bad guy, the new Darth Vader kid. Last time I saw him, he was giving it to, what's her name from Girls? Horrific, Lena Dunham. He was giving it to Lena Dunham on her couch in a bad place. You're telling me that he could kill Han Solo? Get out of here right now. Get your nonsense out of my. Get out of here. All of you, get off my planet. And it would have been so easy. It would have been so easy. I'm sorry. I don't think Darth Vader would, yeah, I don't think he would ever hit Lena Dunham. Ever. I just don't think it. Did you see that first episode of Girls? Where Lena Dunham pulls down her pants and she's like, and she's on his couch, his filthy, dirty couch, waiting to get it. Like, okay, I'm calming down. Calming down. All right. Get your filth out of Star Wars right now. Get it out. All you had to do, all you had to do was reintroduce us to Luke and to Leia and to dear Han Solo. That's all. That's all you had to do. And continue the story because that's all I was interested in. That's all I was interested in. I wanted to know what happened to my friends from 30 years ago. I wanted to know where they were. I wanted to know, well, surely the world is a better place because, the rebellion won. So surely the world is a better place. And Luke definitely has become king, some kind of, like, Luke has become a benevolent ruler of Tatooine, maybe. I don't know. And he's like president of Tatooine. They've gone on to great things. Han and Leia are married happily. They have kids, and these kids are just, they all have the Force. Chewbacca he's gone home for Life Day. He's with his family, and then something new happens. Then, yeah, maybe there's some new kind of, all right, that would have been just fine. That would have been just fine. I would have been okay with that. But you brought me to the movie theater to basically show me this new fake Star Wars movie in which you raped and murdered my friends. And yes, raped. Raped. It's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Yeah, I know. I see a lot of you are crying about it. Watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. I have many times, Stiff Kittens. In fact, the Star Wars Holiday Special is now the fourth best Star Wars movie. That's what's happened. It's now the fourth best Star Wars movie. Nick M. Production says, but their story is done. Why not let a new character group take on the story? Let them tell their story. I think it would be boring for a 30-year-old later jump and everyone is hunky-dory. No. Why? Why not let a new character group? Because most people can't create beloved characters. That's the problem. Most people can't do it. And Disney hasn't done it with Star Wars. They've created a bunch of zeros. So if you have beloved characters, I don't see a reason for them to step off the stage. And I do think seeing them 30 years later, and everyone is hunky-dory, but they're called back into action again. They're retired, they're happy, fat, they're old, they have families, and they're called back into action by something. And that's a great story. I point you to The Dark Knight Returns. Great story that never gets old. Old and fat, called back into action again. Akashic Soldier, thank you again for another super chat. You're very generous. Disney's granddaughter is an open socialist Marxist. Videos of her are on YouTube. Marxist philosophy teaches that you must destroy the past to build something new. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's an ugly philosophy. I don't believe in that at all. Embrace the past. Build on the past, absolutely. But keep it intact because that's where our hearts are. And I want to see, like, if Luke Skywalker or if Han Solo is going to die, I want to see a Viking funeral. Old man Han Solo. Old man. Kevin Smith, thank you for the super chat. Can you do some drawings of the DCU as Guardians? Maybe. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm working on a new issue of Hal Jordan right now, though. So, yeah. Han Solo meets Lobo. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that they could do. This is not the Kevin Smith of film. This is another Kevin Smith. It's a common name. I'm sure he does like that confusion, though. Who wouldn't like to be thought like, hey, are you Kevin Smith? Not that Kevin Smith. Like, he's got to do that every day of his life. This our Kevin Smith. Yeah, and a Star Wars TV show, I couldn't care less. How many times have they done that already? You know? They did that Ewoks movie. I actually watched that Ewoks movie. There's a reason that's not available on DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah. Han should have gone down with the Falcon. Yeah, I guess. He got speared. He got impaled by the same guy that impaled Lena Dunham on his filthy couch. It's disgusting. Cecil says, don't like Ray? Misogyny much? I'm getting there. If my option is Ray or misogyny, I'm from misogyny. I'm sorry. If all women were Ray, I would hate women. Fortunately, that's not the case. Just dumb. It's just dumb. Come on, guys. We can do better. We can do better. Carl P says, EVS, can you break down other artist styles and or techniques like Yusuke Murata? There are also perspectives I've seen that just don't know how to decipher or duplicate. Help. I'll think about it. I will think about it. I want to do more drawing videos. I do want to do more drawing videos for you guys. It's important. It's what the channel's for. It's part of what the channel's for. But then again, you know what? I do drawing videos, and you guys don't watch my drawing videos as much as you do my commentary videos. My article reading videos. You guys like them. All right. Comic Artist Pro Secrets. What do you think of Heather Antos leaving Marvel? I don't know. Good. Fine. I don't care. I don't care. She was always nice to me, to my face. So, it's fine. But, I mean, she had no impact on my life that I know of. EVS, draw right as a boy because boys need their heroes too. Maybe Raymond. Yeah, it is true. Maybe you haven't seen this video that I did where I basically, my thesis was that there are too many females in pop culture and not enough males being represented. So I took some of, I mean, there are countless female heroes. I took those females and I made them into male characters just to let boys know that it's okay. And boys can do anything girls can do, probably better. You know, it's like, I am the father of a 19-year-old boy. I raised a boy. I just finished paying off his college, by the way, so he's done. I'm done as a father with him. And, you know, I taught him that he could do anything a woman could do way better, and never to let himself be told that he wasn't as good as a woman. I said, never let any woman tell you that you can't do anything that they can do except for that one thing. Yeah. And I think that's been good for him. I think that's been good for him. Let's see, what else are we talking about here? Wow, Nerve Clack says I sold $5,000 in Disney stock at $800 or $108, and I'm not looking back. Disney will beat every franchise they have to death, diminishing returns. Well, I hope you made some money. What the hell? TMC just reported that Stan Lee passed away? Are you joking? Is that a joke? That's not funny if that's a joke. I'm looking that up right now, guys. That would be terrible. Maybe it's just a hoax. Stanley reveals that he's fighting pneumonia. Search tools anytime past hour. The last days of Stanley. No, he's still alive here. Okay, I don't see, it's a hoax or is it real? It's a troll? Okay, because that day's coming. I'm preparing myself for that day. All right. Is that my troll? Oh, it's Ace Wolf. Such a jackass. Dark Knight 88, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I will believe that if someone tells me that. That's not, I mean, that's not cool. I've gotten to spend some time with Stan Lee, and I think he is a super guy. Although I did catch him in a bad mood one time. I won't tell you what he said. But I've seen, like, Stanley was in a real bad mood one time when I was with him in a room, and he said something so funny that if I told you, it might actually, it might crush some fans. Oh, God. It's great. He's a super guy. I'm glad we still have him. 95 years old. No, I will never tell you, especially now that Stanley is close to the end of his life. I would not do that. Nope, nope, nope. Maybe 10 years after. After 10 years after Stan Lee has gone to his reward, I might tell you what he said. No. Yeah. Stan Lee will never see the industry die. That is true. Yeah. Because I'll tell you why he won't ever see the industry die. We're not going to let it die. We're not going to let it die. Latest issue of Previews has signed copies from Dynamic Forces going from $600 to $900 each. Nice. Yeah. By Stan Lee, I guess. Signed Stan Lee books. Good. Stan Lee said comic books are for children. And I agree with him if he did say that. Because we're all children inside, hopefully. That's how I feel about it. I mean, the part of me that loves superheroes is the 3-year-old that in me that has never gone away. I saw the Superman movie at age 3, and it changed my whole life. I saw Superman, Christopher Reeve as Superman, in the drive-through theater in Provo, Utah. I sat on top of the car. My dad put me on top, like the roof of the car to watch, with some Cracker Jacks, and it changed my life. Yeah. Yes, I did meet Herb Trimpe, and I took a picture with him, but the picture didn't turn out very well, so I deleted it, and then Herb Trimpe died. So, there you go. I wouldn't have shown that picture anyway. It didn't look good. Caustic Soldier, thank you for the super chat. Real talk, I sincerely worry about the nut getting the Wonder Woman book and Bendis' recent talk about the direction he's taking Superman. What nut getting Wonder Woman? I don't know what that refers to. Bendis' recent talk about the direction he's taking Superman. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. Yeah. Do the Christopher Reeve Superman movies still hold up? In my opinion, better than ever. Listen, the first Superman movie was made by pretty much the creative team of The Godfather. You know, Mario Puzo, screenwriter, Marlon Brando, star. It is an extraordinary film. A great film. And it, by the way, it loves its audience, and it loves the character and the mythology. It doesn't try to change anything for a modern 70s audience. It is pure Superman. Pure Superman. And the second one's great too. I really do like the second one. I didn't like Man of Steel. I haven't liked any Superman movie since the original 4. And it's like, even now you can look at Superman 4 and go, okay, this looks like a rough, unfinished movie. There's some silliness in it. But Superman is in that movie. The real Superman is in that movie. The Richard Donner cut is awesome. Here's the whole reason to watch the Richard Donner cut. For like 5 seconds, when Lois Lane is wearing the Superman shirt in the Fortress of Solitude, and Superman has just said, "I love her. I'm going to marry her father," and Marlon Brando gives a glares at Lois Lane in Superman's shirt, and Lois kind of retreats a little bit, like I know Daddy is mad at me. That whole scene is absolutely amazing. Wow, super chats are coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Zach gets all the super chats. I wish you guys would give me super chats the way you give him super chats. Charles Wright says, maybe consider live interview portfolio review. Well, I have done that. I just did a live portfolio review. I used to do live interviews. I mean, if you guys want me to, I can talk to really like out Republicans who aren't worried about SJWs trying to tear their lives apart. I could do that if you'd like to meet some of them. But I mean, I was talking to other people who are kind of apolitical, who wanted to come on the show, and I was just like, let's give it a break. Let's not do that. And just for a little while, just until things get better and people kind of get sane again. This channel isn't going anywhere. This channel is going to be here forever. It's going to continue to grow. You guys who got in on the ground floor, I'll never forget you. But this channel is going to be here as long as YouTube is here. Anime Drummer Boy, thank you for a very generous super chat. EVS, what do you think of the DC Cinematic Universe heroes and how they're represented versus how they're supposed to be? Well, we could go through them one by one. Wonder Woman is perfect. Batman is perfect. Cyborg is perfect. Aquaman is wrong. Flash is wrong. Green Lantern was wrong. Suicide Squad's great. There you go. I give you an honest answer. Handlebar Fox, thank you for the super chat. YouTube channel recommendation, Beyond Creepy. I'll look it up. I've been looking at a lot of creepy channels that talk about spooky videos on YouTube, and I really do enjoy them. I keep getting suckered in by Bryce Drake. He's another troll, but I'll read him. Bryce Drake. Ethan, I'm currently writing a new script for my comic. I was going to do the drawings myself, but I am willing to hire you in exchange for a crisp handshake. See, that's what I'm talking about. I read his messages because they're long, but he's such a troll. Kevin Smith again, a different Kevin Smith, but the same Kevin Smith from before, just not the one who had a heart attack and directed Clerks. Thank you for the super chat. He says, rename Shade's sword Excelsior for Mr. Lee. That would be a classy move. Miss Luau, thank you for the super chat. Very, very much. How would you fix Aquaman? Good question. Here's how I would fix Aquaman. Aquaman is not Lobo. He's not that kind of a guy. He's basically Tarzan underwater. All he knows is the sea. He's in a world where sea monsters are real. So all of the old creatures that you would see on the maps that said beyond here lies monsters, okay? Like, those are all real, and Aquaman knows them and controls them and commands them. He is an incredible, so here's what I would do, honestly, and you guys tell me if this is crazy or not. I would aim Aquaman at women, and gay men. I would make it kind of sexy, and I would say Aquaman is basically Tarzan in the sense that he doesn't even speak English yet. He comes out of the water, and he's like Daryl Hannah in Splash. A beautiful man, super powerful. He can protect women, and this one woman finds him and takes him in, and etc. Becomes Jane to his Tarzan, and tries to domesticate him, tries to tame him, but he is Aquaman. He is the king of the sea. And when she holds his hand, she can breathe underwater, just aim it at a fantasy towards women. And you could do that with the guy, because I'll tell you something, the guy who's playing Aquaman right now, girls love him. The women absolutely love him. And if you made him kind of like a silent, kind, but super tough protector of women, that movie would make $1 billion. March Hare, thank you for the super chat. Some diaper money. I enjoy your drawing tutorials, by the way. I just work a lot and find a little time to draw. Well, thank you. I hope you do. I hope you get a chance to try one of my things. Akashic Soldier again. Thank you for another super chat. Her name is Kelly Sudaconic. Later see her interview on politics and masculinity in comics. Last super chat, I have to work. Keep it real, my friend. Thank you. I'll watch the video and see what I think of Kelly Sudaconic. I guess she's writing the new Wonder Woman thing. Eve La Renaissance says, yes, Water Tarzan would be hot. Okay, see? I'm telling you. And you make him look like Jason Momoa, and you just make him this big, huge guy who's, who women are, trying to teach him the way of the world, some woman. It would be a fantasy. Here's one thing that I remember. I remember being in the